Kingsley, thank you so much for your time this morning and welcome to the South African Morning. Talk to us about this expedition. I believe it's about, 30,000 kilometers or so. 30 countries. What do you have in store?
Good morning, Faith. Nice to join up with you all this morning. It's the journey is called the Defender Transcontinental Expedition. Defender being, of course, because it's in the new Land Rover Defenders, and transcontinental because it's a journey that's taking us from Cape Agulhas, the southernmost cape of the African continent, Cape Agulhas, as you know, all the way to Noordkap, the northernmost cape of Europe in Norway's Arctic Circle. So 30,000 kilometers, 30 countries, lots to look forward to, a lot of humanitarian work on the way. So, yeah, we're very, very excited. And it's, this time it's been difficult for everybody, but to be doing an expedition of hope and goodwill, it's so excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're calling it the journey of purpose. Can you just expound just in terms of, the purpose aspect of this journey, and what are you hoping to inspire? What are you hoping to get as an outcome of this journey as you embark on it?
Well, first, we've already embarked on the journey. We've left from Cape Agulhas. It was a wonderful occasion of typical sort of Cape Agulhas weather. The wind and the cold was blowing in from the side. But yes, so we've left from there. We've filled the traditional Zulu calabash, a wonderful send-off, loads of vehicles, old Land Rovers coming from far and wide. And then very quickly got into the journey, into the mountain passes of southern Africa, distributing right-to-sight spectacles to poor-sighted people, and of course putting these new Land Rover Defenders through the test. So, there's not much been happening in expeditions, obviously, over this COVID time. So a huge sense of positivity. I'm with my son Ross, the rest of the team, Shira, Anna, a great team, and doing right to sight, helping people with eyesight, something that we take so for granted, a pair of reading glasses. So to date, we've come all the way through those high mountain passes of the Eastern Cape, and are now doing an enormous amount of humanitarian work with creches and early childhood development centers here in Zululand. Our target is very clear, and that's to distribute 2 million meals worth of Do More nutritional packs to mums and kids at creches, particularly around wildlife areas in Zululand, as we make our way to leave South Africa at the end of January.
Kingsley, won't you just inform us, how many kilometers have you covered so far, and how many thousands more do you have to go?
Well, this is just the start of the journey. We've sort of held back for a few weeks just because of this current COVID scare. And also just, when you asked how many kilometers, we've done about 5,000 kilometers zigzagging through South Africa. So lots more to go. But the other reason for leaving South Africa only at the end of January, and we're going to have an exciting event in terms of leaving, and that is to leave from the Jaguar Land Rover experience at the end of January, and then via Constitutional Hill, where the scroll of peace and goodwill will be signed for our journey north. The other challenge, of course, from a geopolitical point of view, is what's happening in Ethiopia. Our journey, we plan to cross those vast open plains, Lake Turkana, those northern areas of Ethiopia, all the way up to Eritrea. But you've been aware, haven't you, of what's happening in Ethiopia, the current civil war that's raging. So yes, some challenges that might have to lead us through South Sudan, and then all the way north, through northern Sudan, and finally to Egypt, and then of course across Europe. So lots to look forward to. Great humanitarian work to look forward. There's also all the malaria work that we do with Goodbye Malaria, especially in southern Mozambique. So the causes will be very clear. It'll be right to sight, the provision of reading glasses to poor-sighted people. It'll be malaria work, particularly in Mozambique. It'll be water purification, and of course, a great amount of conservation work and early childhood development work with mums and kids. So lots to look forward to. Lots of challenges for the new Land Rover Defender that we'll be putting them through. A great team, and of course a scroll of peace and goodwill that accompanies us on each and every journey. That will be signed by ambassadors and peacemakers and traditional leaders as we make our way across Africa to the northernmost point in the Arctic Circle of Norway. So Hot Cape, Cape Agulhas, North Cape, Noordkap in Norway, and then all the way to Wales. And you might well ask, why should we end in Wales, Anglesey and Wales? Well, that's where the first Land Rover was drawn in the sand in 1947. And by the time we get there, that would have been 75 years prior to our arrival. So, wow, good old South African adventure, bringing hope.
Well, Kingsley, it certainly is a hopeful journey, and I understand now why it's actually called the journey of purpose. But very quickly, if I had to ask you, out of everything you could be doing in the world, I mean, I'm sure there are options that are available for you instead of taking this journey of purpose and embarking, helping people. If people had to sit down with you and say, what's your why? What drives you to solve for these problems? What drives you to engage in this humanitarian work? What's your why?
Well, the why in this case has been the why that we started with all those years ago when we started using our Land Rover adventures to improve and save lives. And it's simply led by a passion for Mama Africa and a love for this fascinating continent. Whatever challenges we might go through, all good, all bad, all at the same time. But for our team, there's no place like Mama Africa, and we are driven by a passion for this beautiful continent.
Oh, Kingsley Holgate, what a pleasure it is to be in conversation with you this morning. All the best for the 25,000 kilometers yet to be explored as you make your way and crisscross all the way to Northern Europe. I mean, how fascinating is that story? Just like going all the way up, helping with humanitarian work.